where we've got to try and do it in one take, okay? So no swearing, or you'll get me in trouble with your parents. Right, hello and welcome to the third episode of season 3 of Shooter Ready, the GBPRA podcast. And I'm joined today by the Great Britain team shooting in junior division. Hello, lads, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
Right.
How are you all, okay?
Yeah.
Good. Very good.
Excellent. I must say this is a good start because the ladies division shooters that I interviewed in episode 1 and the factory division guys that I interviewed in episode 2, they're a bit quieter than you guys. So thanks for coming on and bringing your voices to the show. First time you've done a podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah. First time.
Who's feeling nervous?
No.
Not too much.
So Noah's feeling nervous. But Luca, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you the only one who went for a nervous wee just before we started recording?
Well, it's all pre-planned.
Right, okay. We'll remember that. So look, lads, thanks for joining me. It's great to see you all. I think the last time that we were all together was when we were in Italy for the World Championships of Precision Rifle 2-2. And what an amazing time we had there. Have you all come down off your adventure in Italy yet?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely, yeah.
Great
Back
time,
on
wasn't
with
it?
Yeah,
Sorry, what
it
was
was
that?
lovely. Back
Yeah.
on with the grind of school.
Yeah. Well, some of you lads, yeah, you've got school. I know one young man who's trying to find a job at the moment and doesn't have to worry about school. So
Wouldn't do that.
believe, yeah, I wonder who that is. Yeah, my son, Luca Westcough. Right, okay, so let me introduce you to our listeners and watchers. So on the screen we have Euan Armstrong, we have Will Champion, we have Noah Smith, and my own son, Luca Westcough. Guys, I'm gonna go around the screen in a moment and ask you all to introduce yourselves. How should we do this? Normally I'd start in the top left corner of the screen, but I think we should go by age. So, who's the oldest?
Don't know.
Right, let's find out then. Will, how old are you?
I'm 16.
16. Noah?
15.
Okay, so Noah's the youngest so far, Will's the oldest. Luca?
18.
18. Anybody beat 18?
No, I'm 17.
And you in 17. Right then, Luca, you are the oldest, so you're going to have to introduce yourself first. Go for it.
Okay, my name is Luca Westcough. I am 18 years old and I've been shooting for about 2 years now in precision rifle.
Excellent. And is that centre fire shooting and 2-2?
2-2 a bit longer than centre fire. Centre fire I've been shooting for just about a year.
Okay, and which one do you prefer, centre fire or 2-2?
I like them both for different reasons.
All right, okay, that's
I like
interesting.
2-2 because it's a shorter drive, but I like centre fire because it's a bigger bang.
Right, okay. So 2-2 competitions, because usually we can get to them a bit closer to home, but centre fire because it's just what a little bit more exciting.
Yeah.
Excellent. And you've been shooting for 2 years, and I believe you started out shooting for a precision rifle team in the UK. What was that team called again?
I started off shooting for Team Jackal.
Yeah.
Shot for them for a few months. That's
Mhm.
led by Euan Armstrong.
Yeah, the Jackal Firearms.
And then afterwards, I joined the GBPRA Pro team.
Okay, and how long have you been shooting for BGPRA?
Since February this year.
Fantastic. And when did you qualify for the Great Britain team?
And I qualified the Great Britain team. I believe that was in May this year.
Back in May. Back in May.
Was the last qualifiers. And they qualified for the team in May.
Great. Excellent. Well, we'll talk about Italy and your adventures in Italy in a bit more detail, but let's carry on with the introduction. So, Euan, you're the next oldest at 17. Do you want to just introduce yourself?
I'm Euan. I've been shooting for quite a lot of my life since I was probably around 10. But I've only really started precision rifle in like the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And so I'm quite inexperienced compared to Lucas.
But that's a long time that you've been shooting. So 7 years that you've been shooting now. What did you start shooting?
Well, I started off with air rifle just at my local club, and I've done a fair few different and like practical shotgun and mini rifle, but not that much, but going a few times a year to do some shooting.
Excellent. So you're probably the person on the screen here who's shot precision rifle for the shortest period of time. But actually, you're probably the person on this screen who's been shooting the longest. So even though you're 17, you've been started shooting since you were 10, and you do a lot of shooting with your dad, James. Is that right?
Yeah, he's chairman of my local club that I'm a member of.
Yeah, I know James well. Good guy. He's the chairman of Lodge Club, which is in the north of England.
Yeah.
That's right. Great. So come on then. You've done mini rifle, you've done precision rifle, air rifles. What's your favourite shooting sport?
I've probably got to say precision rifle because I just enjoyed the just the whole movement around it and getting into positions before shooting, and then also the accuracy that's required.
Yeah, it's an exciting sport, isn't it? It's very different from a lot of the other sports. So I'm glad that in the short time that you've been shooting it, you've really enjoyed it, and you put in a really good performance in Italy, I must say. So well done for that, and clearly those 7 years of experience have served you well.
Thank you.
Great, and your sister was on Great Britain team as well, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. She was representing ladies.
Yeah. And unfortunately, when I did the ladies podcast, Heather, your sister, couldn't join us at that time because she was busy with her studies at university. But what I might do is I might have to do a brother and sister episode and get the both of you along. Do you argue and quarrel much?
Not that much anymore now that we've matured a bit.
All right, so that would be quite a safe podcast show to do then, would it?
Yes, probably.
All right, great. Well, thanks for introducing yourself, Euan, and welcome to Shooter Ready. So, Noah, 16. Was it yourself that was next? No, was it Will? Will next? Will, right? Go for it, Will. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Will. I'm 16. I started shooting just about a year ago now. And my first competition was about December, I think. And yeah.
Great. And this isn't the first time that we've spoken on the camera, is it? Do you want to let our listeners know about the first time we actually interviewed when I first actually interviewed you?
So the first time was I think it was one of my first competitions that I went to spectate down in Orion. And Alex White was there as well. So,
yeah, I remember that day very well. Alex was there with his Accuracy International, and you were there with your dad and Alice from AI, and you had a great day, as I remember.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I could see that you were very, very excited about getting started in the sport, even back then, and you did spend a lot of time just watching other people shooting and watching the sport before you finally got into it yourself. But it's great that you finally got there.
Yeah. I was actually in my head ready a long time before I started, but Dad wanted to make sure because of the investment.
Of course, yeah. It is one of those things. Being a dad myself, you do often worry that your children will show an interest in something, and then you spend a lot of money on them for doing that thing, and then they suddenly lose interest in it. And but that's all part of growing up and just finding what you like doing in life, I suppose. But fair to say, you've got the bug bad, and you're going to be shooting for a long time yet.
Yeah, hopefully.
And Accuracy International, your favourite rifles? I think that was. I'll tell you what. Let's talk about what everybody was shooting in a moment. But I do know that you're a massive Accuracy International fan. and it does help that you have Alice Bond from Accuracy International there, who's helped you along a little bit.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. Noah, go on then, the baby of the bunch.
Hi, I'm Noah. Obviously the baby, 15. I started shooting clay pigeon when maybe I was about 12 with my dad. Mainly just going along, having some fun with him. Purely had a few lessons and stuff, which was good fun. But I did a bit of mini rifle. I did a bit of a winter series, and I did some practical shotgun. But the PRS only really started in January when I went to a PR22 course down in South Wales. And I mean, seeing my dad have a passion for it just made me want to start, and then kind of just kicked off from there.
Yeah, and I mean, you've come on leaps and bounds in that short time that you've been shooting precision rifle. You're getting really, really good at 2.2 and centre fire.
Yeah, it's been great. I definitely prefer the 2.2 though. It's just something about it. I think there's a bit more calculations to it than the centre fire, and I think once you've kind of started hitting the target, I think it's way more satisfying.
Right, that's interesting, because a lot of people say that they prefer centre fire, so it's interesting to hear somebody saying that they prefer 2.2. Anything to do with that though, that at the moment you're shooting a left-handed gun in centre fire, and I think you're right-handed and you've got a right-handed gun on 2.2, does that help?
Yeah, it definitely does help. I mean, it saves a lot of time recycling the bolt compared to the left-handed, but hopefully centre fire right-handed gun is in the works, so
yeah,
ready.
Excellent. And you're also a supported shooter as well. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the team that you shoot for?
I shoot for Team Jackal. Luca shot for them for a bit, and they're great. I mean, I've gone for some shooting days with them, and it's always a good time. I mean, their main motto is just to have fun, and that's really what I do.
Yeah, it's a very supportive team, isn't it? So yeah, it's great. It's great that that you were able to join them at the start of your journey into precision rifle. That's good. That's great news. Excellent. Right, guys. So what did you think about shooting for your country? Did it make you feel proud?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah.
Did you ever imagine that you'd be shooting for Great Britain?
Nope.
Definitely not.
And I mean, some of you lads were working towards qualification. You came in sort of at the last minute because we were a man down on the team, and we don't have many junior shooters in the United Kingdom, and we needed to get some extra people there to make a full man squad of 4. And you stepped into the breach for us at the last minute. And how did that feel to suddenly be landed with that opportunity?
Oh, it was quite amazing, but it was a bit stressful making sure that I was up to a good enough level at PRS to be able to do my country proud, I suppose.
Yeah, of course. And how did you prepare for the World Championships?
I did quite a fair bit of practice, just mostly positional stuff at Lodge Pistol Club.
Yeah.
Because they only have a 50-meter range. I did one little competition at a Lodge Pistol Club competition at a different range.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to a competition at Pro Shoot down in Wales. But that was kind of all the practice that I had beforehand. So I'd done a fair bit positional, but not much shooting at long range.
Yeah, and of course you've got your 7 years of shooting experience behind you then as well. So it's not like you're not unfamiliar with a rifle.
Yeah.
I know that you're very, very busy with college and everything, but when are you planning on shooting any more matches soon?
I'm hoping to shoot a match to try and qualify for the centre fire, because I think that'd be really fun, and going out to America would be really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, since I got back from Italy, I have done one match, just a Lodge pistol match, but I managed to get drawn first place, which shows how beneficial Italy was.
Yeah, of course. Big learning experience was Italy, I think, for all of you, for everybody that was there anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. And what about you, Will? How did it feel to be a Great Britain shoot?
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of emotions because I was excited and proud, but then at the same time very nervous of what to expect because I hadn't been to something like that before. But once I got there, it was quite amazing.
Yeah, it was a great experience. I mean, I wasn't shooting; I was just there supporting the GBPRA, the IPRF, making sure Luca was okay. But I just had a fantastic time as well, just being around all you guys that were involved in the competition. There was a great atmosphere there. It was just an amazing experience. And how did you prepare, Will?
So in the start of the summer and about July, I got my first rifle. So from then on, I was also practicing just in the garden with positional, and also going out and doing some long range shooting just to get that practice in as well.
Excellent. And have you got any plans for any future matches in the coming months?
I do, but for now we're taking a little bit of a break, so I won't be attending any for a little bit.
So just prioritizing school a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. Started sixth form, so I got to knuckle down.
All right, so GCSE, of course, GCSE's out the way. Time to get stuck into your A levels, I guess.
Yeah.
Excellent. What are you studying?
I'm taking DT, sports science, and physics.
Whoa, fantastic! That sounds very interesting. And what's it been like, around college when people hear about you being a precision rifle shooter and competing for Great Britain? Are people a little bit amazed when they find out for the first time?
Some are, some aren't. The school decided to present my medal to me in one of the assemblies.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, it's some people aren't interested and some people aren't. So.
Well, clearly your school are very proud of what you've achieved. I mean, that's fantastic that they did that for you.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, some other people that were there and saw that will have been encouraged to maybe try precision rifle one time. That'd be amazing if we could get more junior shooters shooting and give you guys a bit of a competition as you try to qualify for future World Championships. Noah, you're no stranger to competition. You play quite a lot of sport, I believe. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, I play a lot of rugby. I play for my school. I play for a local team around me, but I also play for my county, Yorkshire. So
the best county in the world, by the way. Everybody
county.
who's listening, yeah, best county in the world.
So that is I think it's a great opportunity for me to develop with a lot of competition around me. So that's definitely helped.
Does being physically fit for rugby help you out with precision rifle?
It definitely does in some ways. I'm going to start going to yoga with my mum on a Saturday.
Really?
Yeah, because
I hope none of your mates are listening to this. Yeah. I'm only joking. I'm thinking about doing yoga myself.
Yeah, I think it will be a great help. So, I mean, getting down into some positions easily would be just really good. So,
yeah, it's quite a physical sport, isn't it? And it requires you to be quite flexible as well. And I think if you are of quite a flexible athletic build, it certainly can help.
Definitely.
So, how did you prepare for Italy?
I did a little bit of positional shooting and a bit of dry firing, but I did a lot of my trigger pull. That was a main thing that was messing me up quite a bit. So I really focused on just getting that right every single time, the same thing. But I do believe the mental side of it, I did a lot of just being ready to be, but being under pressure and not being nervous and keeping my cool. I think that really helped me fatally.
Good, excellent. And you again, you had a good competition there, didn't you?
Yeah, it was good.
Great. Luca, what do you think about being a great British shooter then?
I think it's a great feeling. A feeling I never thought I'd have. And going to World Championships so early, being so new to the sport, is kind of a bit mind blowing because I wouldn't think we'd be in this position after shooting a few matches. But
great. Well, you certainly made me and your mum and the rest of the family proud. So thanks for that. And how did you prepare for the World Championships, Luca?
Tried to go to as many matches as possible, as many we could drive to, and a lot of dry fire practice, loads of positional work in my room or in the garden, trying to use the rifle as much as possible, since the rifle I was taking was we just put together about a month before we went, maybe even less. So
well, let's talk about that a little bit, and then we'll go around the room and we'll talk to the rest of the guys about their rifle setup. So talk us a little bit about what you were shooting and then what you moved over to for Italy. And
so I just received new stainless steel. I think it's 20 inch Bagara stainless steel barrel, and it was just great. I went to Jackal Firearms to go collect it. I think that was in July?
Yeah, it was just a month or so before the World Championships, wasn't it? You picked up your new rifle.
Yep, and then we had the XLR chassis, and then we went to the range near Scarborough, and we built it, put it together. We first had I think it was a Bushnell scope. We mounted it that I was given in the previous match in Wales, and put it all together. And then I think I went to a Team Jackal shoot a bit later on to get my bullet velocity and to zero the rifle. And then after that, it was just focusing on practice.
And when you took the Bushnell off, what scope did you put on in time for Italy?
My Leica scope.
Leica PRS, yeah.
Yeah, especially made for precision rifle shooting.
And before then, you've been shooting my rifle, my B14R, which is just up there for anybody watching on YouTube. What did it feel like moving away from that and being able to have your own rifle?
To have my own rifle was great because I could adjust it to how I shoot, how I position myself behind the rifle, and that being your rifle, I couldn't do that as you wanted, where you wanted it set up. But now I have it my way, set up the way I want, and I can shoot it the way I want to shoot it. So that's a much better advantage.
Yeah. Would you say that setting up? I mean, although you had that new rifle and it was set up just for yourself, you only just set it up a month before the World Championships. Would you prefer to have had a bit more time with it, just to become a bit more familiar with it ahead of the competition?
I wish I had more time. I wish I could have shot a couple more matches before Italy with it, because other than that, it was also quite heavy. I think I weighed it and it was about nearly 8 kilograms.
Yeah,
being a 2.2 rifle, 8 kilograms is quite heavy. I don't think I was conditioned for the weight of the rifle when we went to Italy.
You should have played a bit more rugby like Noah.
I should have.
Cool. So Noah, you set up a new rifle a little bit before Luca, I think. I think you had a bit more time behind your new rifle, but do you want to talk a little bit about the rifle that you took to Italy? Yeah,
I had a Bagara B14, but it was in MDT Elite chassis, and then I had a Vortex scope and a Diamond Trigger Tech trigger, which was really good, especially practicing with the trigger pull, like I was saying.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Sounds like a nice setup there. It sounds like a little bit of a pricey setup as well with the MDT Elite. I bet your dad's eyes were watering.
Yeah, definitely. A little support from my family, and it did go a long way.
Yeah, of course. No, it was a very nice rifle that you put together there, and served you very well in Italy, as it seemed.
It did.
That's great. Will, what were you? I mean, there's going to be something to do with an accuracy international in there somewhere, I'm guessing. But what were you shooting in Italy?
So I was shooting a accuracy international chassis with a the same stainless steel as Lucas had.
So the
with
BPRA stainless steel barreled action, yeah.
Yeah, with a Trigger Tech trigger and a Night Force Tremor 3 scope.
Very nice.
Yeah, so we picked that up. Well, we first went down to see it in July, and had it shipped up to us from C2 Precision in about August time. And then from there started getting it to fit me and also to practice with it for Italy.
Yeah, excellent. And if I remember correctly, was it our chairman Jack Crawford that was carrying the rifle for you?
Yeah, it was. So Jack kindly carried my rifle for me in Italy, which was a huge help, and I'm very thankful for him.
Yeah, because I mean, just for the benefit of our listeners and watchers, junior division for 2.2 precision rifle, it's for shooters up to 18 years old in the year of the competition. And there were some rules in Italy around you had to be a certain age to be able to carry your own rifle to be considered an adult. So some of you that were old enough were able to carry your own rifles on your own firearms tickets with your own visa. But some of you needed to have an adult who could carry the rifle for you on their ticket and with their permit. But then once you're at the competition, obviously you then have access to that rifle to shoot the competition with. So Euan, what rifle were you shooting in Italy?
Well, I had the CZ455.
Nice.
Everything was pretty standard, just the standard barrel and trigger. It was in the MDT Oryx chassis. We changed it to a vertical grip.
Yeah.
I think it's slightly nicer to hold. I had a barrel tuner on it, and yeah.
You happy with it?
Yeah, definitely. Set it up about probably 1 to 2 months before the comp, and I got a fair bit of practice with it.
Excellent. That's really good. And what ammunition were you using, Euan?
I was using biathlon from SK.
Okay, SK biathlon. All right, Will.
Yeah.
What were you using, Will?
I was using R50.
R50. Okay, great. Noah.
Ely match.
Yeah. And Luca?
Doing SK match.
An SK match. So 2 for SK there, 1 for Ely and 1 for RWS. Cool. Happy with your ammo choices?
Very happy.
Yeah.
Cool. Good. So Italy itself. What were your highlights from the week you spent in Italy? Let's start with you, and we'll go back around the room now. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about how you got over there, Euan, and what you enjoyed the most about it all?
Well, we drove over, me, my sister, and my dad. We drove down through France and then down through Italy. We stopped by in northern Italy because, and we did a bit of rock climbing because both me and my sister are quite into it as well on the way.
Excellent. That's good.
That was nice. And then when we got down to the comp, the whole experience was really amazing, and it was lovely staying in the hotel with the whole of Team GB.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we drove back up. My sister flew straight back to university, so me and my dad drove back, and quite uneventful drive back, but rather nice just driving through the continent.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit of an adventure, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. What about yourself, Will?
So we set off and we went down through the tunnel. We stayed on the UK side of the tunnel first, and then made it over through to Switzerland and stayed in there for a little bit for the night, and then made it down to where we would be staying for the competition. And we weren't staying with the GB hotel, so we chose to stay on our own because we thought it would be better.
Yeah.
And then on the way back, it wasn't very eventful until we got to France, where we got to our hotel and it just wasn't great. There was water running everywhere. And
Oh dear.
so we stayed in the car park of the tunnel. So
Really?
it wasn't very eventful. Yeah, it was good.
And there was what? There was you, your mum, and your dad.
Yeah. So yeah.
And did they have a good
my
time?
parents came down. Pardon?
And did they have a good time?
I think they enjoyed parts of it more than others. So it was quite hot on the top of that hill some days. So, but then, yeah, no, I think they enjoyed it as a whole.
Excellent, good, glad to hear it. What about yourself then, Noah? What was your trip over there like? What was it like once you were there in Italy?
Well, to please my mum, we went down a couple of weeks before and had a bit of a family holiday. So
all right, okay.
Drove all the way down, stopped in a few places, met some of my parents' friends.
Yeah.
And it was just really great going to a lot of different countries I've never been to. Austria, especially, that was really nice.
Yeah.
Went walking all around in the mountains and stuff. And then went to Florence as well. Florence was great. Rome.
Yeah, I love Florence.
It was really good.
Great. So you had a proper adventure then.
Yeah.
Excellent. Sounds good. Sounds good. Luca, do you wanna tell everybody about what your trip over was like?
So getting there was fun.
Yeah.
Leaving was not so fun.
All right. So I know the story, but obviously people that are listening and watching might not know the story. So do you want to tell us what big adventure you had trying to get out of Italy?
So going into Italy was no problem. From Middlesbrough to Gatwick Airport was quite a long drive overnight, but that was no problem. Getting the rifles on the plane, no problem. We flew into Rome on the night, and then we drove over with Jack Crawford to the GB hotel.
Yeah.
But that was no problem. I think, how long did it take altogether?
It was a long journey. It was at least 24 hours worth of traveling, wasn't it? Getting on for. But yeah, do you want to tell everybody then about trying to come home?
So drove back into Rome, and then waited in the airport, checked in, signed everything, no problems. It was quite a long wait from check-in.
Yeah, we were there early.
That was fine. Yeah, we were there quite early. Got through security, rifle all checked, and then we got into the plane. And the pilot said, "You can stay on the flight, but your rifle can't for some reason." And either we could go off with the rifle, or we could fly, but the rifle has to stay in Italy.
Yeah.
So frustrated, we have to come off the plane. Got locked behind some doors.
Yeah, we got locked in the boarding area. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had to book another flight while going through border control again. Get the rifle back. Wait basically another whole night in the airport. Got rebooked, rechecked in, went through security again. and luckily it worked. Exactly a day later.
Yeah, so it took us a full day to get out of the airport at Rome because the airline basically messed up, and it took me two months to get my money back. So there you go. That was our little drama coming home. So what would be your what's your favourite memory from the competition, from the match? Luca, what's your best memory from the match?
My first stage would be my
Okay.
first memory. The stage where everything was all right and I shot calmly, and I was doing good position in a good routine, and I got a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I only lost, I think I had just timed out, or I didn't have my round didn't load correctly, but I think I timed out.
Mm-hmm.
I got 9 out of 10. Thought I was going to win the whole thing, but that was my best. I think that was my best moment, just having a good start like that for the day. That was definitely one.
Yeah, and it was a bit of a tough match after that, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
What did you find particularly tough about the match?
On the hill, it was mainly with the wind.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think it was simple with those flags, but it really wasn't. You'd shoot one way, some shoot one way, and then your when you went and go, it would be the wind would change direction, and then it would go back, or it would pick up or go down, and it was very hard to judge while on the hill. And loads of people were getting caught out for it. On very simple stages, everybody had everything sorted except for we couldn't predict the wind.
Mm.
Some people did better than others. Yeah. It was a challenge.
What about you, Noah? One most favourite memory from the match?
Probably not from the match itself, but the opening ceremony. I think the atmosphere was so good. I mean, everybody was cheering. They closed down a whole town for us to parade through, and Jack Crawford allowed me to carry the flag, and I think it was just great.
Yeah, that's fantastic. A great honour to carry the flag as well. Yeah, excellent. And how did you find the match? Easy, tough, in the middle?
Somewhere in the middle. Some bits I thought I was doing. I think mainly for me, I think it was consistency. Not doing really good on some stages and doing really bad, but just staying in some sort of the 70% area and just plodding along.
Yeah, just consistent scores throughout. And what about yourself, Will? Favourite memory from Italy, from the match?
It has to be my second day. So that was also the final day. So I had for me, it was quite a good day shooting up on that hill. It dropped as I got to the bottom. But then the day finished off with celebrations and handing out medals and everything. So it was very good.
Yeah, it was a good day, wasn't it? Very good day.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Euan? Favourite memory?
It's very hard to choose, but I'd probably say the first day.
Yeah.
Because I went in no expectations of doing any good, to be honest. And then I just surprised myself. It all went downhill a bit on the second day, but yeah, my first day of shooting, I was happy, and it was all really great experience.
Excellent. It's usually the other way around for me. Usually my first day is when I don't shoot so well, and I always seem to pull it back a little bit on the second day. I always shoot better on day two, but there we go. Great. And okay, so Will just mentioned the medal ceremony there. So, guys, you came home with some honours as well, didn't you? What do you want to tell everybody what you won while you were there?
Besides the medals.
Yeah. What did you win while you were over there as a team?
We came third as a junior team overall.
So bronze. So not only are you Team Great Britain shooters, you've represented your country in a sporting event, a World Championships, but you also won bronze.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a great achievement.
I think we're all just surprised surprised about it.
Well, I'm just surprised that you're not sitting here on the TV with your medals around your necks. Thought you'd have been showing them off.
Mine's up there with my football trophies.
All right, okay, all right. And I get yours is with your rugby trophies, is it?
Yeah, in my room.
And you haven't left yours up the top of some Swiss mountain, have you?
No, it's just up in my room.
Where'd you keep yours, Will? I bet your mum's got it on the mantelpiece.
No, mine's with a couple ski medals. So
Very good. So you're a bit of a skier as well.
yeah, a little bit.
Excellent, excellent. So fair to say that precision rifle, all you chaps, you all also play or partake in some other sorts of sports. You all sound like you're pretty active in some way or another.
Yes, with a sporting background, it's easy to get into something else like this. You're not just jumping into it.
Yeah, I agree. It just gives you a little bit of that competitive mentality, doesn't it, and the desire to want to win things, I guess, and just enjoy playing sports. Is that a fair comment?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And being active definitely helped getting up and down that hill.
Yeah, I think we'll never forget that hill. Although the smartest ones amongst us would have jumped in the taxi and got a lift to the top.
But it did help when we had our buddies as well.
So yeah, let's talk about the buddies a little bit. So Luca, who was your buddy?
My buddy was Dean Scott, who was the owner of Celtic Precision, and he manufactures bags.
Yeah.
For shooting, or for anything really. And I used his bag. I 99% used his bag for the match as well. It was a good bag, and he was a good buddy as well.
Yeah, I think Dean's bags from Celtic Precision that he manufactures himself. I think they were the second most used bags at the competition. Actually, he's doing a great job of getting those out into the shooters' hands. So you had a good time with Dean, did you? Both looked after each other?
Yeah, we had a great time. We were helping each other, giving each other advice, carrying each other's bags. It helped with the heat as well, not carrying your rifle and your bags and all your equipment together. So that whoever had the idea to have a buddy system when we arrived was very smart for it, because it did help, especially with the heat.
Great. No. Who was your buddy?
I had Ben McElwain.
Yeah.
He was great. I couldn't have asked for a better partner, to be honest. He is just great. I mean, literal wind god.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he just really helped me.
Yeah, he's a very accomplished shooter. Is Ben, and I'm no doubt that he'll help you massively during the match.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I bet he was glad for your help as well.
Yeah, carrying his bags up and down the hill. But
some wind calls.
I think he was definitely competent enough to do that himself.
Fair enough. Will, who was your buddy?
So I had Adam, and
Adam Farwell.
He was a massive help to me, and massively grateful for him, because I don't think I could have scored as well as I did without him. And
that's the advantage of the buddy system that the Team Great Britain like to employ at the World Championships. We sort of implemented it a little bit in France for the Centre Fire World Championships a couple of years ago, but this year in Italy, we made sure that everybody had a buddy, so nobody was left without some support on the day that they were shooting. And I think it's like, for all the reasons you guys have said, advice, support, just looking after your physical well-being with water, with carrying equipment, just running errands if you needed something. I think it helps. I think it helps massively, and you do see some of the other teams helping each other in a similar sort of way. I mean, the Americans always travel with a lot of family members, and the family members are helping each other as well as other members of the team. But we've got a much more formal structure in place for our buddying system, and I think it does help us gain them extra few crucial points. Euan, who was your buddy?
My buddy was Alan Rowe. And it was great having someone who was more experienced than me, just helping out and just having a calm word with him before I shoot, and just making sure that I know what I'm doing, and making sure that I'm all ready to do everything. And it was also great just making sure that I was staying hydrated, keeping on suntan lotion, and just making sure I was looking after myself throughout the day as well.
Yeah, Alan's a cool head, isn't he? Under pressure, I think, and a great shooter as well. So I'm glad he was able to support you.
Yeah,
that's great. So, so that's Italy. And any other reflections on Italy? Anything else that stands out? Any little stories that you want to tell from your time there?
For me, how good my squad was altogether.
Okay.
Even with Dean, I'd say I had a great squad with me. Everybody, it wasn't really about individuals. It was like everybody wanted everybody else to do good.
Anybody you'd particularly like to mention?
Two people, definitely Tyler and Paul, two American guys. They were really helping me out during the match and off the match as well. So Tyler was great when I was going up for stages, and he was giving me advice, and he was telling me what I was doing good and what I was doing bad, and he was there for me he's there for me from start to finish. We really got along really good. And then it was Paul as well. Paul took me aside for about half an hour after day one, and he gave me some tips with my rifle and how I can position better and how I can shoot better. And I really appreciate it. I couldn't be more grateful for both of them. They were both just
Tyler Orton and Paul Dallin, and they were fantastic, weren't they? And very good company along with their wives and the rest of the American team. And you're right, Paul. You know, he gave you a bit of coach on that day, didn't he? And for our listeners, Paul actually came second overall in the competition, and Tyler was there in third in open division. So you landed quite lucky there, didn't you? Getting two of the top shooters in the world in your squad.
Yeah, they're both great shooters.
Great. What about the rest of you guys? And anybody that stands out in particular from your squads? Any characters or people that helped you?
Well, talking about squads, I was in a squad just by myself, which I think took off quite a bit of pressure having no other juniors there. But I would like to say John, who was from Canada, and Ronald from USA. I think they were both a bit of a duo, and I think John, there was no bad sportsmanship in my squad, and I think there was good calls without, and everyone just supporting each other really well.
Yeah, there was a real collegiate spirit there, wasn't there? A lot of people that just really felt like they were in it together, and it didn't matter what country people were from. Everybody was wanting to see everybody else do well and rooting for one another. It was there was a really good atmosphere on each squad, I think. Yeah. Will, do you have you happy with your squad?
Yeah. There was one person in particular that I got on really well with from my squad. Ben from Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, so he really helped me out, and we got along quite well. So there was banter, and it just made things a lot smoother and more fun.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. What about yourself, Euan?
My whole squad was really great. We all got on well and was helping each other with wind calls and spotting for the spotters, of course. But I'd like to say Anders from Sweden was really great with me, and he had quite a good understanding of the wind, and he was happy to share and help out.
That's fantastic. That's good to hear. Excellent. So you all had a good experience then during the match with all of your squad mates.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, that's really great to hear, and obviously you've all made new friends and contacts around the precision rifle shooting community worldwide now, not just in the UK.
Yeah, it's great to have the connections.
Yeah, absolutely. So future shooting ambitions. So let's go. Let's stick with Euan for this one. So you mentioned USA
Yeah,
earlier.
currently
So
I'd like to qualify for USA. I'd also quite like to do the next PR22 World Championship, but I think I'd be in open or factory then. So I'm not sure I'd be able to qualify, but it would be a
because you
lovely
need to
thing to
be
do.
you need to be 18 in the year of the competition, don't you? And
Yeah,
you'd probably be 19 by the
yeah, I'd
time
be 19.
2025 comes along, which will be the next World Championships.
Yeah.
Similarly with you as well, Luca, that'll be your last opportunity to shoot in junior division for PR22. Nora and Will, I guess you guys could still do the PR22 World Championships in 2025, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going for USA and the next PR22.
Yeah. Will?
Yeah, so I'm taking a break, so I won't be going to America. But going to keep in the practice and training. I'll be back up for the 2025 juniors.
Yeah, cool. So specialising in PR22 is the message I'm getting.
And also, I'll be starting up in centre fire for 2026. But
okay, so starting up for centre fire, but just no ambition to go to the World Championships in USA. Just going to focus on
on
2 for 2025
college and yeah,
that makes sense. And Luca, USA?
Yep, USA and the next PR22 championships as well. Try and get to all of them.
So PR22 championships 2025, you're probably going to be in open division or factory then, aren't you?
Most likely be out of juniors, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so I'll let you be going up against some stiff competition there. Lots of practice. I'm turning into dad now. I'm turning on dad mode. Well, if you want to do that, son, you're gonna have to practice and work hard. Right, that's it. No more dad stuff. I bet your dad's listening, isn't he, Nora, and going, yeah, it's exactly what I say, Christian. I always say exactly the same thing. But Luca, for everybody listening and watching, PR22, 18 for juniors. For centre fire, though, we do accept people up to age 20. So, Luca, you've got USA, where you could still shoot in the junior division, and obviously Noah, Euan, and Will, if you wanted to change your mind, certainly would be within the age limit for centre fire as well. So, great. Any other shooting ambitions from anybody?
Not really ambitions. Yeah, I'd like to just keep shooting, doing a few different things because I quite enjoy doing clay pigeon and just keep up with doing lots of shooting basically, but no specific ambitions.
Great. And while we're talking about ambitions, I know Noah, you started doing a little bit of hunting now as well, maybe?
Yeah, I recently went on a stalking trip with Adam, who was Will's partner in Italy, but he is great. He goes out all the time and really lucky. He never normally sees quite a lot and he goes out a lot. We went there, first night there, we walking through the woods. We went on this bit of a trip he knows off by heart, and we saw about 10 of them just walking up this hillside.
Fallow deer, was it? You were
fallow, yeah. And I got one, and then two of them just stayed still and didn't run off. Adam quickly hopped on and got the other one.
Excellent. So you got a freezer full of venison for Christmas?
Yeah, it will be great. Yeah, we're going to try and meet up with him, get that meat, because it's nothing better, I think, than eating it, especially if you know and you shot it yourself.
Absolutely. And what about the rest of you fellas? Any ambitions to start doing a bit of hunting?
Hopefully back
maybe in the future.
Spring.
So, Will, you're saying maybe in the future?
Yeah, maybe in the future to start, but sticking with PRS for now.
Yeah. You and any ambitions for hunting?
I kind of agree with Will. I think it would be a great thing to do, but not really got time at the moment.
Yeah.
In the future.
Busy.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And Luca, you've started to do a bit of hunting recently as well?
Yeah, I was in Norway early October, I believe so. Went to Norway for a couple of days, do some deer stalking, saw some moose as well. But hopefully in the spring, go back to Norway, where it'll be a bit warmer than last time.
It was a bit cold over there, wasn't it?
Really, really cold. It's the coldest I've ever been.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Good experience.
So guys, I mean, clearly you're very, very excited about shooting for Team Great Britain. You've obviously got clear intentions to carry on shooting, ambitions to represent your country again, which is fantastic to hear. Have you got any messages for any other juniors that are maybe thinking about getting into precision rifle or just getting into any sort of target sports at all?
I'd like to say to not be afraid to get into it. Definitely for me and my dad, we were sort of nervous to start out and didn't really want to go to competitions, didn't want to look like the guy that didn't know what they were doing. But honestly, I think the community is really supportive and you'll instantly get help and people will be glad to help you out with anything. And I think it's just about getting started.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Anybody else got any message?
I've got to agree with Noah. Just turn up at competitions and people will lend you if you don't have bags or gear. Then everyone will just be happy to lend you theirs, and it's a really welcoming community, really.
Yeah, and if you don't succeed first time, keep coming back and don't give up.
Yeah,
good message.
Just get with the good people, which nearly everybody, and you'll have no problems. Everybody's always nice. Everybody's always calm. Everyone's there to have a good time. So, if you come down, then you'll be welcomed very highly.
Excellent, great. And anybody coming along can rub shoulders with Team Great Britain superstars, like the 4 young lads that are on the screen talking to me right now. You'll be doing autographs, won't you?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Right. Guys, I think we'll wrap it up there. Thanks very much for joining me on the show tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you all. I had a fantastic time. Really enjoyed your company in Italy. Really hoping to spend further exciting times with you in America in September next year, and hope to see you all at a match soon. So take care now. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
That's it, fellas.